2 #1 albums in a row.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, did you think 10 years ago, you've obviously had success throughout your career, but like, it's at a higher level now. Did you ever expect this?
Oh, never. No. I mean, it's so weird, like you were saying, like looking at the bowels of the backstage. It's kind of that way, just behind the scenes. It's so unassuming all the time. I never know what to expect. And so I'm just doing the things that I love to do, which is like hang out with friends, work on music, and then tour. And then whatever happens is like a byproduct. If you get more famous or you get more successful, like whatever that means, I don't know, dude. But no, I never expected this.
And there's a fervor, so to say, for the band, man. Like, we came out here, I was here at 2 o'clock to start the broadcast.
Yeah.
There were people already ready to go. Signs, dressed, ready to go,
That's
man.
so wild.
I mean, it's got to amaze you any town you go to.
Of course. It's daunting. It's like, I don't even know. It's kind of ineffable. Like, how can you give back in a way? Like, I feel like I'm cheating all the time. Like, I'm cheating these people out of something because I'm just having the time of my life. And the fact that they are inspired by that, it's just a bonus. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever. They inspire me to want to do better. I watch fans like mobilize behind the things they're so passionate about, and it blows my mind. It just makes me like want to get up off my ass and do some work. You know what I mean?
Especially in the environment that we live in and the culture that we live in.
Oh yeah.
It seems like everybody's like looking to get behind something.
100%. Yeah, it's like somebody always has to have a platform, and if they do, then they use that for whatever entrepreneurial thing they have going on. But now it's like, I was thinking about that actually this morning, like how cool it is that through social media and stuff, you could just talk to your idols. Like you can talk I could like tweet Dave Grohl and be like, I worship you. And and maybe because I have a blue check or whatever, like maybe they'll see it. The fact that that's even a possibility is the coolest thing ever. It goes beyond like just getting fan mail where it's faceless, it's nameless. You're getting direct contact with people. You can live stream with fans. I just think it's really special, the fact that I used to think it was oversaturation. Like, we're going to get too many people wanting to be musicians. We're going to get too many of this and that. It's like, no, everybody will find their place, Like, as long as you're passionate behind it, that's so cool. I love it.
And you're talking about social media, man. Social media is just amazing in that you can just put something out, you can be a nobody, and you can blow up. If people like what you're doing, man, it's crazy how quick it takes off.
I mean, look, it's like the biggest artist. You have, like, Ariana Grande. You have, like, Shawn Mendes, who was found on YouTube and Vine and stuff.
Colby Calais.
Oh my God! Like exactly, you have all these amazing artists who were just found because people just liked what they had to offer, and that's so organic. That's like the most natural way for it to happen, rather than like a label being like stuffing it down people's throats. It's so different, but it's so cool.
Yeah,
I think it's just such a special thing.
Over the past 10 years, your sound has definitely changed.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Super distinct at this point. What led to the evolution?
The biggest reason for me is boredom. Honestly, I get pretty bored of like the monotonous same thing, writing a song the same way. I mean, structure is one thing, but like using the same sounds over and over is kind of, I just get bored really easy, honestly. I think it was kind of inevitable to change over time, just as I grew, especially when the band first started. We were like 17 years old. And so, your first 5 like formative years before you're like 23 years old and you think that you're set as a person. Even now I look back at me 23 and I'm like, I thought that I was all-knowing and like had all the answers. I was like, I'm 23, I'm set, I'm never gonna change, this is it. And it's like, dude, I'm 31 now, and I realize like I know nothing at all, and that is so exciting because there's just more possibilities. So yeah, I think it was just inevitable to evolve the music over time. It's
amazing the things that you don't realize you need to learn to grow.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a very good way of putting it. Like the thing that freaks me out is the Neil deGrasse Tyson quote where he says, I lose sleep over this, is like, I don't know what I don't know. And that's just like, it's like, dude, I'll never, we'll never know everything, but you can at least focus on what you love to do and then just let that carry you into a different world. It's so cool.
You talked earlier about inspiring fans and really getting behind things.
Yeah.
And you came out recently as Pan.
Yeah.
And that's a huge inspiration to a lot of people who don't know how to express themselves.
Sure.
Why did you do it now?
I mean, I've said it for years and years and years. And finally, this one publication decided to just, I said, might as well just call me pansexual because you're not getting the hints that I've been throwing out that, like, I will like they don't understand that, like, I can only say so many things. Everybody wants a label. So to me, it really doesn't matter. Like, a label is whatever. I don't care. We dealt with it with, like, the band stuff, like being called emo and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's great. I don't care. So label thing never bummed me out, but it was just easier to put it into terms where, okay. It makes people feel more comfortable, I think, to have something to label somebody as. And if that's the case, dope. Like, I could care less, you know. But if it also inspires other kids and youth to find out who they are and then really instill that in themselves, even better. If I can ensure in somebody who, when I was 17, I was so unsure of myself, so not confident, I didn't have any courage, I felt like a pathetic piece of crap. And so if I can change that for anybody, I mean, life goal. Like, that's just awesome. What a cool idea. So yeah, it never, I mean, seriously, it was like 4 years I've been saying, like, dude, it doesn't matter. But I try to tell people, like, my sexuality is I'm married. Like, that's my sexuality. Because when you're married, it's a very specific type of sexuality.
Right.
And, like, you know, gender, all that stuff. It's like, it doesn't, it's its own label. But yeah, I mean, if worse came to worse and whatever happened, I think it is comforting for people to have that label. And if that helps in any way, give an understanding as to who I am as a person, awesome.
Do you feel a responsibility as somebody who can really make a change in doing things like that?
Sure. Well, I do think that if you have a certain platform and a certain level of, I guess, celebrity, you do have a responsibility to let people know what you believe in, what you're all about. If you're not doing that, in a way you're misleading people by withholding some of the truth. So in that right, I feel like, yeah, you do have a certain amount of responsibility, but really I do it for selfish reasons, because when I do things charitably, it makes me feel really good. And so it's mostly just because, like, I'm doing this to get off. Like, I do this because it makes me so happy. Like,
right.
It's like watching an episode of Queer Eye where I'm just, like, in tears out of, like, how joyous they're making people, you know, like how positive of a change they can have on people's lives. That's awesome. Yeah, I think to a certain degree you do have a responsibility, but for me it's just fun.
It's amazing how small things can change somebody's outlook on everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just tiny little things. Okay, so first of all, your hair is fantastic.
Thank you.
I interviewed Chris Carrabba recently.
Oh, I mean,
I had the same conversation with him.
He's got the best hair, though.
His hair is unbelievable.
It's flawless, too.
Like, what is he doing to
It's always picture perfect. Mine just gets messy, and on stage after one song, it's just like flopping around like Sideshow Bob and Simpsons. It's brutal. But yeah, I mean, that's a good one. Chris Carrabba,
he's got a fantastic head of hair.
Yeah.
So if you had to have an emo night lineup, 3 bands, who are you bringing to emo night?
Okay. Emo night. Oh, geez. I think we'd have to throw Dashboard into the mix now.
Okay.
Let's say Dashboard. We'll say Fall Out Boy and Blink-182.
Oh, that's a good lineup.
I think that's just like a good pop punk emo.
Right.
You know, like that was my intro into like the emo. The first time I heard the term emo was a Blink-182 song called Emo, like the emo song.
Right.
I think that's a good lineup right there.
It's amazing how those bands have evolved as well.
Yeah.
From the pop punk to the more emo-y, you know.
Totally.
And even now, they're still out there just going at it. It's
New
crazy.
Dashboard, like it makes me so excited because it's reminiscent of why I fell in love with that band, but it's also so mature now. You're just like, oh yeah, New Dashboard. Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah.
I like it.